Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Is that how the line goes?
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Die Hard is directed by John McTiernan, starring Bruce Willis. Came out in 1988. One of the best action movies of all time. One of the best Christmas movies of all time. What's that? This isn't a Christmas movie? Yeah, you can totally tell it is. Look at that. It's got a middle-aged man holding a gun with an exploding building in the background.
Now I have a machine gun.
Ho, ho, ho.
La 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 la. No, don't, no, not a. I still think it's a Christmas movie. I don't care. It takes place on Christmas. Doesn't look like a Christmas movie. Hey, if it takes place around Christmas time, if it smells like Christmas time, and if it feels like Christmas time, then it is a goddamn Christmas movie. Ho ho ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Guys, what's up? I want to welcome you guys to another movie review on my channel. Rosy Rascal 15 reviews a movie that I should have reviewed way back then. In fact, I was supposed to review this last year, and I owe you guys a huge apology. I am so sorry. Here's a picture of the voting poll that I did back in 2018. Yes, you guys wanted me to review Die Hard, and I apologize. I was supposed to get this review out at literally around Christmas time. And look, we're in March. What the hell, Rosy? What took you so long? Well, you know what, guys? Editing videos. I got so sidetracked. I literally forgot I put this damn post until one of my friends reminded me, hey, Jerry, I thought you were going to review Die Hard. Because I was talking about Die Hard with a friend. He's like, hey, weren't you supposed to review that movie on your channel? I was like, oh shit, I was. So, I owe you guys an apology. I'm so sorry. I do read the polls, guys. And don't worry, I'll be doing another voting poll if you guys want me to review another movie on this channel. So, Die Hard, guys. Again, quick word of advice. If you have not seen Predator, please watch Predator. It is actually made by the same director of Die Hard. He actually made this a year prior. 1987, classic action movie. You guys know this movie. If you guys haven't seen this movie, you're missing out. Actually, some of my friends haven't seen this movie, and I'm like, what? There's no excuse. Watch this movie. It's awesome. By the way, I have to mention, do not get this version of the movie. Just a quick thing. I'm going to get out of the way, and then we'll go back to Die Hard. I just want to talk about Predator for just a minute. I reviewed this movie on my channel. I'll put a link in the description down below. This version of the movie, do not get this version. I didn't know this when I did my review at the time. I wasn't really into the whole specs of a movie, but I found out that this version of Predator has digital noise reduction, meaning that the picture is kind of all waxy looking, and it takes away some of the grain. If you're gonna get Predator on Blu-ray, I recommend getting the version from 2000. I think it was 2008 or 9. It has a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger's eye, and the background's all green. So this is the version of Predator you want to own. This is I think the 2008 or 9 version of it. This is the one you want to get. The version I own, sadly, is this version, the Hunter Edition, which do not get. It has digital noise reduction. So if you're going to get the Blu-ray version of this movie, please get the one that has Arnold Schwarzenegger's face with this cover. Do not get the one with the Predator mask on. Alright. It's that version you want to get. It's from 2008 or 9. Get that Blu-ray version of Predator. It doesn't have any digital noise reduction. The Ultimate Hunter Edition is the version you want to avoid, which is this version, by the way. It's called the Ultimate Hunter Edition. This is a re-release that came out last year, but this is based off the Ultimate Hunter Edition. So if you're going to get this one, get the 2009. Or if you actually, one of the rich boys or rich girls out there that actually have a 4K player, get it on 4K. The picture is actually way better than the Blu-ray. So get the 4K version. Alright guys, so I've talked a lot about Predator. That's enough. Anyways, recommendation. There's a review for that movie on my channel. Link in the description. Check it out. Great movie. One of my favorites. Alright, so I own most of the Die Hards, guys. Okay, I own Die Hard 2 as well, which I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I still enjoyed it. It's still a fun action movie. Some of the writing feels a little bit not as good. It's kind of the opposite problem for Die Hard 1. I'll get to Die Hard 1 right now, but Die Hard 2 was not as well written as Die Hard 1, but it's still a fun as hell action movie. It has a ton of fun of action scenes, and just it's a very entertaining movie to watch, so still a good movie. It's not a bad movie, just not as good as the first one. And then we have, sorry, just going through this pile. I was disorganized. I'm not very organized. Then we have Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is actually the third Die Hard. Very underrated movie. This is actually also directed by John McTiernan, the guy who made the first one. Yeah, Die Hard 2 was not directed by John McTiernan, but he directed the first and third one. This movie's really good. I know it's got a shit reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. It has like a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, which it's kind of nuts because I think this is way better than the second movie, but yet it has a lower score than the second one. But me personally, I think this is a better movie. I think it's a lot more original because the second movie tends to copy the first movie a lot, but this one does something completely different. First of all, it takes place in New York instead of LA. Great movie, underrated. Sam Jackson. The only complaint I have is the last 15 minutes. It feels very rushed and anticlimactic. Other than that, great movie. So that's Die Hard 3. And then we move on to the fourth Die Hard, Live Free or Die Hard. I think this is a very underrated Die Hard. I think people shit on this one too much. People say like, it's modern, it feels too much like a Mission Impossible movie or blah, 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 whatever. I love this movie. I don't care what anyone says. I think this is a fantastic action movie. Is it a bit over the top? Yes. Does the PG-13 rating hurt it a little? A little bit. There is an unrated version, which I actually do own the unrated version. Not this one. This was just the PG-13 cut, but I have the unrated version here somewhere in my room. I don't know where it's at. I have so many movies, so I don't even know where that's at. I recommend this movie. I think this is a great movie as well. If you can get your hands on the unrated version, that's the version to watch. It feels more in tone with the first three movies. Yes, I like this movie. I think it's great. And if you want to hear my personal ranking of the Die Hards... Oh, wait! I didn't talk about the fifth Die Hard. What fifth Die Hard? It doesn't exist. Okay, guys, I'll talk about the fifth Die Hard. So the fifth one's called A Good Day to Die Hard. I have it here. I don't own it because the movie sucks. No, I don't like the fifth Die Hard. I've seen it once, and it's horrible. It's one of the worst sequels I've seen. It's not a Die Hard movie. I refuse to talk about that movie. It sucks. Yeah, it's rated R. Who gives a shit? It's not a good movie. The quality sucks. Terrible movie. Anyways, so with all that being said, my personal ranking of the series is from best to worst. Best Die Hard 1, then Die Hard 3, then Live Free or Die Hard, and then Die Hard 2. So yeah, so 1, 3, 4, and then 2. In case you're wondering what's... And then 5 is literally... Five's not even in here. 5 is literally in a stockpile of garbage. That's where 5 is. I refuse to. 5 is just. Anyways, it's like it's Terminator Genesis for me. It's just like I pretend it doesn't exist. It's that bad of a sequel. Anyways, I'm not talking about that. Let's go ahead and talk about Die Hard 1. I rambled on. I haven't even talked about Die Hard. What? It's been about 7.5 minutes recording. I haven't even talked about Die Hard. All right, I'm getting way off topic. I'm sorry. I'm just getting my introductions for this series and other works the director made. Okay, so Die Hard 1, guys. Plot. It's about a cop named John McClane, who's from New York. He happens to go to a party in LA where he's invited for a Christmas party. But it's kind of personal for him. It's not just he's going to be there for a party. He's actually there to go reunite with his wife because apparently... don't quote me on this. I could be wrong, people. I haven't seen the movie in a while. Yes, I didn't watch the movie before recording, so don't judge me. I think his wife is divorced with him or something. I think they're divorced, I believe. And that... Because when he gets to the party... again, the main character is called John McClane. So his wife should be called Holly McClane, but actually in the movie, he finds out his wife's name is now reverted back to original maiden name, which is Holly Gennaro. So right there, that kind of tells you that the wife is... just that one scene right there where John McClane is signing into the Nakatomi Plaza. That's where it takes place in L.A. It's actually a real building, by the way. In real life, that's an actual building that they filmed it in. Anyways, so he gets there and he finds out that the wife changed his name. He's looking for his wife's name, and he finds out that it's not even the same last name as his. So that goes to show that you can tell the wife wants nothing to do with the husband, and that they're not in the best terms right now. And I want to give a big compliment to Die Hard White. It's one of my favorite action movies of the 80s, especially for the 80s, because this was during a time when action movies were all about Macho Man. You know, or people not getting hurt. You know, you had your, Sylvester Stallones, your Arnold Schwarzeneggers, your Jean-Claude Van Dammes, your Steven Seagals. You had all these action stars that were just like, nothing can hurt them. They were like, damn, like you wish you were these dudes. Like, they were not relatable. But then you get Bruce Willis's character, John McClane, who's actually a very relatable character because he's very down to earth. He's not perfect. You know, he tends to get drunk and, he's not in the best terms with his wife. He's not perfect. And later on in the movie, he admits that he's kind of he's a bum and he's kind of a bit of a screw up.
She's heard me say I love you 1,000 times. She never heard me say I'm sorry. And I want you to tell her that, Al. I want you to tell her that John said that he was sorry.
But he has his heart in the right place because what happens is when he gets to the party... we find out that John McClane is just, trying to make everything right with his wife. And then all of a sudden, bam, something terrible happens. A bunch of quote-unquote terrorists come to the party and decide to rob the Nakatomi Plaza of all their money. They want to steal $640 million from the plaza. And basically the movie becomes like a heist movie in a way. You have these terrorists that want to steal all this money. And I say that in quotes because actually they're thieves. They're just common thieves. Excuse me, they're not common thieves. They're exceptional thieves. And because I moved you up to kidnapping, you should be more polite to me, Mrs. McLean. Alright, that was my shitty Alan Rickman performance right there. Anyways, guys, I want to talk about the main villain of this movie. Alan Rickman, the actor that plays him, fantastic, man. The villain of this movie is one of the most memorable villains you'll see in an action movie. This dude is awesome. And I love the actor that plays him. Alan Rickman, you might know him as Snape from the Harry Potter series. He's done a lot of movies. I mean, he's great, dude. He's a great actor. I'm sad he passed away already. Just rest in peace, Alan Rickman. Fantastic performance. Apparently, this was his first movie he came out in, and he did a great job. He's a real menacing villain. And the funny thing is, John McClane and this villain, whose name Hans Gruber, they never meet each other until the end of the movie.
You are most troublesome for a security guard.
Sorry, Hans, wrong guess. Would you like to go for double jeopardy where the scores can really change?
Two people not even in the same room and make it feel like they have real good chemistry and connections. Great job. That is good writing. John McClane in the movie demonstrates some of the best, most realistic type of moments in action movie history. He'll have a situation where he wants to help people out, but he can't always be there to help them. What I mean, I'm trying to say this without spoiling the movie. There'll be situations where he's thinking in his head, oh my god, why didn't I do anything? I need to do something. He thinks realistically like anybody would in a situation where you want to help somebody or you want to comprehend a situation that's out of your league, but he can't because he's a human being and, you know, he's only a cop. There's only so much he can do.
Why the fuck didn't you stop him, John? Because then you'd be dead too, asshole. Think, goddammit, think. Hans, this asshole is not my friend. I just met him tonight. I don't know him. Jesus Christ, Alice, these people are going to kill you. Tell them you don't know me.
There's good writing like that throughout this movie, and Bruce Willis gives to himself. It's realistic. You would talk to yourself in a real dangerous moment. Again, guys, I've talked long enough about this movie. I don't want to spoil too much about this movie. Fantastic action, great characters. Real realistic, well, I say realistic in quotes because, I mean, you know, action movies aren't realistic, but it's pretty much one of the most down-to-earth action movies. Nothing's too over the top for the most part. For the most part. It's very well made, it's well directed, acting is phenomenal, the characters are memorable from John McClane, the villain, to his wife, to a certain cop I didn't even get to mention in the movie. There's this real funny cop that helps him out in the movie that loves Twinkies a lot. He's actually from the show Family Matters. He's really friendly. He's like one of the friendliest cops you'll see in the movie. I love that character so much. He always makes me smile every time I see him in the movie. One of the nicest characters in the movie. All right, guys, I've talked long enough. Go out and get Die Hard. I'm gonna give Die Hard a 10 out of 10. This is one of the best action movies. My only nitpick with the movie is that I don't have any nitpicks. I guess my only nitpick with the movie is just that I guess it starts off a little bit slow, but that's just me nitpicking. Honestly, the movie is well paced, well acted, real nicely directed. It's memorable, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Go out and see Die Hard, guys. But guys, it's been your boy Rosy 15. I hope you enjoyed my review for Die Hard. It's really up there in terms of like Terminator 1 and RoboCop and the First Blood. Just timeless classic action movies that I can never get tired of. Or Aliens. I'm sorry, I didn't mention Aliens. Aliens is actually my second favorite action movie of all time. Alright, guys, I've talked long enough. Go out and see it. This has been your boy Rosy 15. And just remember, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. I don't think that's how the line goes. Where did I hear that line? It feels like I've heard it. Oh yeah, it's the TV version of Die Hard 2. Yes, that's how they censored it. No, actually the line goes like this. It actually goes, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!